we've been bombarded with these sort of promises and cures and things like that for literally, like, if you look at old issues of Popular Mechanics from the 1930s, you can see old advertisements promising the miracle hair loss cures. Okay?
And also weight gain if you're too skinny.
For sure, yeah.
Really good
for sure.
Probably at the time, probably like just
until you see the world's richest man, or one of the world's richest men, Jeff Bezos, who is famously bald.
Yeah.
Until you see that dude with a full, thick head of hair, I'm not so sure I'm believing in these cures yet. Gentlemen, today we're here to talk, once again, I feel like this is a pretty common topic on the show lately about hair loss. And I feel like someone's just saying, like, hey, you're losing a little bit of hair. Why don't you talk about this again on camera?
Well, it's not just about you. There are other people
of course not.
who suffer from this
We're going to have
terrible
a
affliction.
funeral for your follicles.
Look, I think I have it a lot better than other folks who are losing their hair
For now.
much earlier. Whoa! Wow, it starts. Okay, look. This guy's coming at us from a position of privilege.
Yeah.
He is follically blessed.
Just debating like how long I can let
Follicularly
this thing go.
blessed.
Magnificent locks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But look, let's face it. I don't think bald is that bad. In fact, a lot of times it can be good. Bald is beautiful, like they say.
We should say the story today that we're talking about is the cure for balding may be hiding inside of you, and researchers are tapping into it. And so really the story is about just a whole bunch of cures or potential cures, breakthroughs, things like that to help stimulate regrowth.
And there are a lot of them. There are a lot of
them.
There's a lot of them, yeah. Including, we've talked about it on the show before. PP405 is one that's super intriguing in terms of like actually instead of just preventing hair loss, it's stimulating hair regrowth, which is like the holy grail for hair loss remedies. So yeah, people are excited. Bald folks and balding folks are excited by this.
Right. And it's important too to mention that it's not just hair follicles that they can make regrow with these techniques. There are other methods that are related that can also regenerate stem cells for different kinds of purposes. So,
but we want to talk about
this is part of something very
really focus on
we want to talk about hair loss
just for baldness.
Look, okay, so I want to carve out my position here and say that as somebody who like this is a source of anxiety sometimes in terms of just like I see what aging does to me, not just hair, but like elsewhere. You guys, I think, can relate as well.
Back.
And it's like, I am willing to try, or at least consider any sort of scientifically backed, intriguing possibility. And it does seem like as of late, there have been several of these, and it's pretty exciting times.
One perfectly scientific possibility is just enjoy it. Shave it. Go for it. Be completely bald.
So again,
Telly Savalas style.
It is easy.
Yes.
Right.
And the thing is, not only is it cool to be bald, a lot of people prefer it. Some people are very attracted to bald men.
Yeah, one of the newest ones that we talked about in this article is a drug that people used AI to discover that does what we were discussing here, which is trigger the hair follicle to regrow rather than just
and they use that, and the AI came in how, right? They found sort of like the metaphor they give is a needle in a haystack.
Right.
And I think the AI was the thing that helped them find the
specific
needle.
receptor that humans before the AI help had not been able to clue in on. And for me, as somebody who's like extremely AI skeptical, right, I'm like, I really do, it's hard for me to be totally out on it because of the benefits when it comes to drugs, because it's not just this, it's, they're in stage 3 trials for psoriatic arthritis cure, for, there's a lot of progress on Parkinson's. So I'm like, while I hate the idea of AI in so many ways that we could do a whole other episode on, but like, this is so good that, and baldness is,
and it's coming for you. So just like, look, again, just know, okay? Yeah, just know that it's coming for you.
Yeah. Like we could do, an update on this, and I'm looking more like Andrew.
Both AI and baldness are coming for you.
Give me the needle.
Well, look, I think that is a really important point. These techniques are being used to develop all kinds of wonderful treatments. Like this one suppresses a gene that causes follicles to die. And the thing I would say, though, is let's face it, there are more important purposes than saving our precious follicles, when you get right down to it, there are a lot of people who are suffering from real illnesses instead of just something that makes them look mildly more sexy, I would say.
Yes, but let's, again, focus on looking mildly more sexy. Honestly, that is just objective number one here. Yeah. So
I don't need to objectify.
Which would you guys try first? The AI antibody injection, the lactate follicle wake up cream, which I believe is one of the other kind of breakthroughs here. The mysterious body sugar, we should say, that sugar plays a big role in here, a naturally occurring sugar in your body. Just curious, like, should you be afflicted by this, at some point in your life? Like, what sounds the best to you? What sounds the least invasive? What sounds kind of...
I think the cream sounds great because it's the least invasive and it's probably the topical. Therefore, you can choose where the hair is going to regrow. That's always my question. Yeah. If you take one of these drugs internally, what else happens to the rest of you?
Like, it comes out sprouting out your ears.
Yeah. Probably a sacrifice I would be okay making.
I mean, really? But like in terms of like this AI drug, like, it's obviously very new. Like, are you like, I don't care, like, get me in there, I want it right now? Or is like at what point are you like, okay, I've seen enough of this where it's like, I feel comfortable with it.
So I heard, we've been bombarded with these sort of promises and cures and things like that for literally, like, if you look at old issues of Popular Mechanics from the 1930s, you can see old advertisements promising the miracle hair loss cures. Okay?
And also weight gain if you're too skinny.
For sure, yeah.
Really good
for sure.
Probably at the time, it was probably like just
until you see the world's richest man, or one of the world's richest men, Jeff Bezos, who is famously bald. Yeah. Until you see that dude with a full, thick head of hair, I'm not so sure I'm believing in these cures yet. Yeah. Unless he's perfectly fine being bald. I mean, he's not like a sexy man, I don't think.
When you see him on the street,
you would like to think that he would at least consider some of these cures as well. And so I think you're always going to be at least a little inherently skeptical, just because these have been promised for like quite literally a century. And we haven't really reached the mass. Like there is not an Ozempic for baldness yet, right?
Right.
Ozempic is a game-changing, culture-changing, world-changing innovation of the last, 3 to 5 years. But that equivalent does not exist for hair loss yet. So not right away to answer your question.
Yeah. So one of the things I'm kind of curious about is like jumping forward into the future a little bit and assuming like some of these cures become as commercially viable and accepted as an Ozempic is for obesity. Like, are some people going to choose not to take it because, they like the way they look bald? And then is bald going to have like a major resurgence because there's so many fewer bald people around? That's
interesting to kind of imagine. Like, yes, the complexion of the world looks like quite different now than it did a couple of years ago, because of the rise of Ozempic. So like, you're suddenly seeing a lot more, thinner people. Like, are you going to be seeing a lot more?
It's like a scarcity problem.
Luscious. Yeah, that's interesting.
I love bald, and there's so many fewer bald people. So George Costanza.
Are they going to whoa? Is it like a market correction? That's interesting. Yeah.
And we should remember that some people really, I think, obviously can benefit from being bald. It can be a really good look and be cool. But some people suffer from baldness in a way where they might have a particular illness, alopecia, for example.
There's the medical side of this too, and I don't want to look down on.
Feel that this doesn't make them look good, and so these treatments are really important for those people who actually
just as people use Ozempic for non-vanity reasons, right? It's just an amazing breakthrough, and like the hope is that this eventually kind of follows suit. And I guess like my question for you guys is like, realistically, what are we looking at?
Well, we do have a lot of animal trials in our article, and I think that this is something we often see. We're very skeptical, I think, over time, because we read this stuff so often about animal trials being really successful and giving us a lot of hope, and then not making it through the human trials.
Yep. But look, some of the greatest cures of our lifetime have also started in mice trials, in monkey trials, and so that's the hope here. And so I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited by a lot of these cures. I hope you guys are too. And, maybe in a couple years, as the show is like just going supernova, we'll all suddenly look a lot different after this hits the market.
Maybe we'll all have more hair. Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
We can all get extra hair, even if we're not losing
it. So again, the story's called The Cure for Balding May Be Hiding Inside of You, and researchers are tapping into it. Go check it out now.